They're at 55-45. Definitely when it comes to the experience play, that hasn't been showing. That has not been showing for Aster. They're in the lower bracket for a reason. And Eagle, they have a couple hot players. Already talked about the butterfly effect, how strong he's been in his lanes. And then, of course, Shang Yu on the off lane. He is playing the Bristleback this time, so it's much more straightforward. But hey, we got ourselves a brawl going on in the river as it is a full-on 5v5. We're not going to get an early casualty, but a chase kill is potentially happening. Clockwork with his battery assault, able to zone him out for a bit longer, but the fire spirits and a couple spikes. First you're burning, then you got holes everywhere. You got these ticks that you're trying to scrape off your skin. But it's not going to work because Bristleback will secure that kill and get the first one on the board for Team Eagle.
Easy clap. Where's your 55 now, huh?
Theory on paper.
Yeah, I mean, probably one hero
right.
that you don't want to give that. Probably one guy that you don't want to give that first blood to, right? Makes the game much simpler for him. I love the fact that they put 4 bat as well. It's some Saksa bat reminiscence. You know,
Yeah,
I haven't seen too many bats position 4 at TI, but this guy is still a beast on 4.
Yeah, Mercy, another player who was really, really good with the Shadow Demon yesterday. A lot of good disruption saves, just countering Spirit Breaker most of the time, really. That was basically his role, is just you pick up that early Aghanims, you're able to pop your ulti every single time during the fight, and then get the disruption saves. Now, as Batrider, I think you're doing something similar to the Shadow Demon. Not necessarily targeting a specific hero in this game, but you have this kind of vision providing support because you are not you're not standing at the back line. You're working together with this Bristleback, going onto targets, and not just during the lane, but like outside of it when you're looking for pickoffs, when you're trying to open up these fights. Bristleback, he's the one giving information and vision. But you also have Batrider who kind of can do the same thing. He's just a bit squishier. He can draw attention to him.
Yeah. We'll see how this top lane goes. Because I feel Void is one of those heroes that can do decently against the two of them. But Bat and Bristle, they can dish out a ton of hurt. I love that they put Shaker mid. Honestly, Eagle, if I... Just looking at these two drafts and how it ended up being here, like, Eagle just plainly outdrafted them. Like,
yeah,
they caught them. Like, Aster didn't even know what to ban. Like, the last 2 bans from Aster weren't even the positions that Bright picked, because they switched everything up. Like, Bat to 4, Earthshaker mid. Like, really nicely done by them. Like, Muerta as well. They probably thought that Muerta is a support early on. Nice job.
There's a lot of high-level thinking going into this draft. Like, a lot of flex is available, and then you're actually flexing them towards the way you kind of close out the draft too, is because you're allowing your opponent to figure out one thing, but then you're giving them a couple more dilemmas on top of that, and they're staying thinking like, wait, how are they laning these heroes actually? And then like, oh, that's a mid. Oh, that's a support. Kind of like the shock that the Muerta also brings in from time to time. It's like, yeah, it's very likely a support. I mean, we've seen it being played as a carry, and then you're still surprised that it gets picked as a position 1 very early on into the draft too. So you start to wonder, did we actually even counter this hero now that the opponent's just been flexing, literally flexing during the draft?
Yeah, they haven't really, right? Because usually you pick Muerta 1 into a Void. So
yeah. But we only have 1 kill on the board so far, so just a casual CS battle all over the place. Shaker's already pulling off a bit of a lead in mid with those 7 denies versus the Kunkka. Yeah. But this is kind of expected. Your right-click damage is superior.
Is it that expected? Like, your right-click is superior, but there's a Kunkka with Tidebringer as well. I mean,
Shaker should beat this matchup because the only matchups where Shaker actually loses is where he can't trade against this opponent because they have higher right click damage. Where Kunkka does help. You are right. You are right about the Tidebringer, but like even the Huskers and stuff like that usually are considered counters in mid, they just have such low base damage that they can't fight versus the Shaker. So he just amasses a lot of denies, slows down the enemy mid, while your farm pace is still completely fine. The difference is, what do you do with that farm? Does Shaker just sit in mid for 10 minutes because your side lanes can't do anything? Or does he get to relieve pressure off of the side lanes and do something with that early advantage when your opponent's mid is a little bit behind, maybe a level behind? You hit 6 before him, for example.
Yeah. After you've said all of this, I think maybe that was the case at the beginning of the patch when Shaker was introduced to mid. I feel like most players right now have figured out ways of playing against him. Like meta on lanes, it evolves. Same like the meta itself evolves, the matchup meta evolves. And sometimes the matchup that was really good can become not as insane. And I think Kunkka should at least be even here. And yeah, he's not. I mean, in any case, Shaker, yeah, he's having a really good time. 25-13. Like you said, there aren't many heroes that can CS against him. The fact that I'm losing with Shaker and trying to justify it, that's a different thing.
But in the end, like, everything is just, theory craft. You can have a mediocre mid player with a Shaker and you can lose the lane against a much more inferior matchup if you don't know what you're doing. Meanwhile, Aster might lose a hero on the top lane. Clockwork slowly burning to death. And they will get themselves another one for the Bristleback. Clockwork a bit out of position, and of course then you have another misposition tool, or forced positioning with that Flame Break, so easy job for Bristle to hunt him down. And now we see the Shaker also making potentially a move, picking up a bounty rune. Nah, he's just going to go straight back to mid. All right. I was thinking, does he want to rotate this early for a quick Echo Slam use? But you don't have enough lockdown for top. Faceless Voice just going to time walk and full heal.
I was just asking you, like, this is a sub-minute 5 Vanguard on Bristle. Like, he's already a problem. How do you address it? Like, you already have to think about some rotations or moving the Void out, because he's going to get Magic Wand charges, sure, but this is a 1v1 lane from this point onwards, and Bat is free to roam. Like, he can do whatever.
He basically can. I think you just pressure the Muerta at this point. There's a hero that you can kill. And they're actually going to try the Bristleback, so as you mentioned that...
Kunkka is here. Yep.
They've got Echo. They also have the Phoenix here, and here comes Mercy. They need a little bit more to save his life. And he will end up dropping, so the X-Mark bolt combination into a Tidebringer, slicing the neck of that Bristleback. Aster will score a kill, so a pretty important opening for them, as he was left quite defenseless there.
Yep, for sure. Like, they needed to... He's a problem. They needed to rotate someone in, and they rotated the Kunkka. They got a kill. It doesn't... Like, it's not a complete fix, but it did stop the bleeding for a little bit, Like, this Void gets a bit more out of the lane. He can chill farm, gets his power treads. Now he can actually pressure the Bristle and maybe right-click him a bit if he gets some lucky bashes.
At least looking at the last hits and kind of translating that into net worth as well. Eagle is doing pretty good in money right now. Clockwork pretty deep in. Mercy, no TP cancel, so it's just going to let him go. And the Fissure, it's like 0.2 seconds too late. And also maybe a pixel too far.
It was very, very close.
You got to grab those small openings when you do. 8 minutes, next rune is spawning. Who takes this one? It's not for Butterfly Effect, it's an illusion for Echo or Mercy. Denied. And he's going to catch the X-Mark, though. Revenge coming out from Echo with the boat. That's a lot of magical nuke.
Dude, that's like... They threw so much on him. Like, it's kind of hard to count in the end. the Blood Grenade as well, like the Shadow Realm, Bramble Maze, Torrent, Boat, and the Bat is just like, please, just let me die already. I know I'm dead.
Yeah, it was a pretty big nuke. You got the...
Top.
Oh, wait, you got a Chrono actually used up in the top lane here. Is it a zoning Chrono? Is it killing Chrono for the Bristleback? Well, the Cogs might do some work, but they're hitting the back of the Bristleback. And look at that. The spikes are bouncing, but Clockwork will survive. 7 Quill Spray stacks, but not enough for a kill. That's only level 3 Quills. If that was level 4, that probably would have done the trick.
Butterfly effect?
Is that a butterfly effect on butterfly effect? Yes, it is.
Yeah. Because of the kill that happened on the top lane,
Yeah.
a small gust of wind sent Dark Willow down mid, and Earthshaker caused a tsunami. There we go.
Wow. That's a sequence.
That's
cool
Dota. That's Dota for you. Honestly, like, butterfly effect is a thing in Dota. Like, you're 2 seconds late because you hit a creep. You know, you got to last it, and you get ganked because of that. Or you're too late to help your teammates. Like
I wonder... nice voice crack. I wonder if when there's a day for either Dota 2 to get another engine update at some point, or if Dota 3 or Dota 4, I'm guessing Dota 4 comes
Dota
before
4,
3.
yeah.
We'll get back to that in just a second, as we got Mercy locked down. A very low Clockwork, but he's just chilling. Teasy with a big heal, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough, and even Clockwork looks like he might just survive. The rum buff helps him out, so Bristleback is just chasing ghosts at this point. But going back to the idea of if we had some really, you talked about the tsunami, it would be really cool if you throw a fissure into the water and the water actually splashes from the force when the earth kind of slaps in there.
Okay, is it
particle effects?
Is it just particle effects, or does the water do something? Like, it washes everyone's face, everyone gets a buff.
I don't know, maybe they lose a bit of movement speed because they're swamped in water. I don't know, but that's something cool to think about. Food for thought. Mercy gets taken down by Echo and Frisk. They did throw a rocket flare on top of the Bristleback, farming Ancients, so they were looking to contest it, and instead they found a Bat Rider on the way. So, didn't get the stack, but they got a kill.
What if there's snow and everything is icy, T-Panda, and then we get
just have the drow hypothermia, you know?
No. We get the slide kitty slide. Everyone is just sliding. Bot lane, Phoenix.
I'll put a pair of roller skates on this Phoenix.
Did you play Run Kitty Run?
I played Slide Ninja Slide.
Or Slide Ninja Slide. Okay, that one is good too. Run Kitty Run was the original one. It's like you had these little Priestess of the Moon or Miranas, and there was a Linkin Park In the End song played while you're playing the game, but it's pitched up, like 2 pitches up.
Oh dear.
And sped up, like it was, yeah. You get to the last portal and you die, and in the end it doesn't even matter. You know, it's deep.
Yeah, I think Slide Ninja Slide had something similar. You know, I think it was a big theme of like, I need a cool song for this, and then they just grab anything that they can and put it 2 times pitch higher. That's always been the theme.
Maybe the Linkin Park one was actually Slide Ninja Slide. Maybe
it could be. It could be.
Yeah. Good times. Now we have like a Warcraft 3 mod in Dota, and it looks better than Reforged. I'm telling you, it looks better than that scam. Anyways,
when do we get Dota 2 inside Warcraft 3 inside Dota 2? You know, real Inception. Someone's gonna do that. You know,
I'm sure. Hookshot.
Oh. That's a pretty good one. It does catch the Bat Rider, and still inside the cogs, you got the Kunkka showing up as well. Kunkka's really living off the land, basically, here. It's just kill after kill after kill, and he gets to be a part of so much action. So Aster, they're getting kills. Eagle, they're getting farm. There's another big stack for this Bristleback to farm, and they're just... How do you see this game progress? Because Aster gets money from kills, and Eagle's getting money from creeps, and they still have all their cores barely above the Aster cores.
Yeah. I mean, Bristle first farmed the stack on the right side. Now he's farming the left one as well. Overall, I think you should be
Oh, Echo in the
okay
mid
with
lane.
this.
That's a big kill. They get the Void. Oh, they needed to use the lasso just in case. Dawnbreaker coming into the action as well. They got the egg that will explode, and Earthshaker needs a bit of help. There's a couple blade mails, though. He might kill himself with the enchant totem, but TZ trying to heal him up, but it's not going to be enough. And there's the hook shot. Clockwork looking to snipe both of them here. Low supports Mercy there, and here comes the Bristleback. Just finished off some farming. Ukiyo coming in for a kill. Echo, he does have the X mark and the Torrent nicely, keeping the Bristleback at bay. And a blade mail.
Nah, he's
Okay,
fine.
it's not enough
Overall,
to cool down.
yeah. Overall, Aster once again, they're just they're really showing us that they individually and like the experience is on their side. They move on the map a bit faster. They address the problems and they deal with the problems. In the laning stage, at least. Like, they managed to somewhat shut down this Bristleback, or at least give Void a free lane.
And they're going to try the Bristle again. DD rune
yeah.
for Echo, but he can't get inside the cogs, so it's going to be a bit of an issue. There we have the Muerta. Big damage from Ukiyo as well. You don't expect that from a core Muerta to actually hit that hard, but the calling connecting on 2 and the pierce the veil plus a nice dead shot.
Yeah. There's an Echo in 10 seconds, and he has a Blink Dagger. If Void shows himself, 20 Magic Wand charges. I don't know if they can. They need someone else, I feel like. Can they solo him?
They probably need one more, but Aster already coming. That's a DD Kunkka. He still has it, and he wants to use it. TZ. Oh, TZ's gonna get away.
Yeah. It was a scan. I think
is he gonna walk back in? He's gonna walk back into them. Oh, no. Smokes are popping. Terrorize misses. Doesn't connect onto TZ. So TZ, he's out, then he's into the fight, and then he's out again. And that's a 100-second cooldown spent on Frisk.
They missed him twice. Nicely done. Like, he can even get all this farm on top lane and get some experience. All you're doing is just waiting for the Axe on Bristle. Like, you can fight if you're bright, but what's the funny thing?
That TZ probably didn't even know what was going on, and he just forced an ult.
He knew, like, Shaker and him, they moved away from, and they scanned the area too. Like, they knew. I'm not sure what gave it away. Was it a ward, or sometimes it's just the way that the carry that you're trying to gank is moving. Like, Void was kind of going towards the creeps back. Maybe that gave it away, but they had an idea. The scan didn't connect, by the way, but it still gives you their mindset. Shows you their mindset, that is.
Clockwork is setting up in top, probably calling out for his buddies. I could fight, but in the mid lane, huge Echo Slam takes down Frisk. Echo down to half HP. Dawnbreaker ulti coming in. Now you got 4 versus 1, and Butterfly Effect's just gonna get nuked down. So he only got a support and loses his life. Valiant effort, almost got a double kill, and the other being the Kunkka would have been absolutely massive, but now he just ends up dying. It's not that worth in the end.
Definitely not. Use the Echo as well. And there were these 2 sentries that were giving away his invis anyway. As he was dying as well, what that did is it prevented Clockwork from dying, because instead of being ganked on top, he TP's mid. So they lose a kill on top, and they lose the Shaker on mid lane. Right now, for the way it feels for me is like the way they're playing is Shaker is trying to get these solo kills multiple times now, instead of doing exactly what Bristle is doing right now. Put Bristle up front, force them to go on Bristle, and then follow up with an Echo and an egg. I feel like maybe that would be an easier plan to execute for them.
Yeah. As we are now just a 1k lead going for Eagle from all the farm that they've accumulated during this game. They've got Muerta almost at 200 last hits, with Bristle, who's been farming Ancients at 140, so all those creeps killed. Definitely giving them a lot of money. Aster, they had an advantage in kills, but that advantage, it's only very minute with an 8 to 10 score line. Eagle finishing off the T1 in the mid lane, so now they can start taking over the enemy jungle. That is the Aster top half of the map. And Aster, they've warded this mid lane with between the tier 1 and the tier 2. And then they also have a cliff ward placed down near the bottom tier 1. So they probably want to play around these two areas. But I really like that they've got that one ward in the mid lane between the tier 1 and the tier 2. That gives a lot of information for Aster.
It's that word is super good when you have a when they have a tier 1, you know, and then they try to defend. Your Batrider moves around, he lassos someone. Maybe it's not as impactful at the moment, but it's still pretty good. Yeah, it's still showing you the Dawnbreaker. Whoever goes on a tier 2 there tries to TP. The Dire one is extremely good though. It's been planted there for a long time, and it actually gives you very valuable info. I don't know, like both of these teams, it feels like they're happy to just chill. Clock and Dark Willow seem like the only ones actually making moves.
I guess that's the thing as well. When you have so much vision, you can kind of just mirror move much more around the map. Like sometimes when you're like, we put a ward down here, that means we want to play in this area, and we can see the exits and the entries from the opponent whenever they show up here, and we want to say fight or smoke to that area. But for the time being, it feels like these wards are just giving information so that they could farm more instead of fight.
Yeah, and the farming time is done, I think, for Bristle. If you click on him, he has 8 gold, which means Aghanim's point booster is flying out to him. Yeah. So he's gonna get that. Meanwhile, Void, he doesn't have the BKB completed. I feel like they have these 2 big items now for Bright. There's a Aghanim's on Bristle, there's a BKB on Shaker. Like these two are really big.
Mean?
What does what? Why?
Bristle wrote chat YY in chat.
Yes. Go. Yes.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Like maybe. YYF.
FR.
No.
No cap. All right. Water Park is online. Very much needed extra crowd control. The moment you have your chrono down.
The ward, the smoke. Oh no. No, Team Bright.
So valuable for Aster. This ward is now actual MVP. If Aster is able to win this fight, they need to get there in position though. Mercy's, he got in, but the hook shot, he was expecting that to happen, and the Batrider is going to be falling first, and that's the first casualty for Eagle. He also used the Supernova. So they're moving out, and they have 1 hero less. So Aster, it's already a success, but looks like they might even want a little bit more. They've got the shield rune, extra 800 HP on the Kunkka. But it doesn't look like they're not gonna... I mean, they're already far away. Eagle realized that this fight's lost.
Like, Bat jumped, and Clockwork managed to hook him before the lasso. I actually don't think Clockwork was hooking him. But I'm not sure. I feel like he was hooking the Bristle in the river, because he was in the same direction. I'm not sure, because that was insanely fast. If he even knowing that there's smoke, that was really fast.
All right, they're pinging Aster's positions here. The Bristle back in the front. They've got the Phoenix back alive. Sorry, the Batrider back alive. Phoenix just the one without the Supernova. So they're moving about.
As good as that, right?
The Roche pit.
No Supernova, useless hero. I'm kidding. Like the maxed out Sunray definitely helps versus all the tanky boys. He has an ATOS too. It's very interesting how players like Phoenix as a hero. It doesn't matter what you build on him. It does, but you can do anything. And now teams are just going for ATOS all the time. Bristle, I don't know about this.
Yeah, I guess the lack of control as well in a way. Getting items to hold them on the spot, Gleipnir's, Rod of Atos. Yules in some cases as well, but I think I like Atos more because it allows Bristle to damage. If you just buy a Yules, it's not really helping the Bristle.
Yeah, it's the catch, but it's the catch on Phoenix because he has dive, and then you can dive
Yeah.
Hex or dive Atos. That's the idea behind it, and it's not
Yeah.
bad. It's just that I feel like players have started copying one another a bit too much. Like this Atos is good on him, but like it's good versus a Void until the BKB, and the BKB is done. Like he's got it now.
He caught the Dawnbreaker there. Dealt a bit of damage by Mercy and Butterfly Effect. But in the bottom lane, at the same time, TZ going to get caught with the hook shot. And he's dropped an egg that's a broken egg. It already cracked before it was actually set up there. And Bristleback's going to fall next. This is not good at all for Eagle. Aster's just going to take it with open arms. They've got all their heroes in this area. Ukiyo, he's got no way of getting out either. Has BKB. He could turn around and kill this Clockwork. He's gonna stand his ground very bravely as well, just fighting against the Clockwork. He will escape. Kunkka also blade mails up, but they force the BKB, and Batrider, he is gonna drop next, and that's a third casualty. Butterfly Effect blinks out, and Ukiyo will be able to move out with the Muerta. So their most farmed heroes will get out, but that was not a fight for Eagle, Lizard.
No, that wasn't a fight. That was just some scramble. Are you surprised he didn't go win? Like, I am. That's what I want to say. Surprised he didn't go and try to chrono Muerta. Like, he could have. Now my question is...
Probably could have, yeah.
Yeah, because they had this ward on the cliff and he had all the vision. And he was out of vision for quite some time. I mean, he probably reacts, but so what? You proc pierce the whale and then you try to fight afterwards. Maybe the idea is let's save it for the pit. Like, go into the rush pit. If they try to contest us, we have Chrono.
Yeah. And now they have the Aegis on the side of Aster too, so that's a free Roshan. Eagle didn't really get to fight much. They had a quick battle with Dawnbreaker in top, and Aster was already moving towards bottom, get a pick off, get themselves into a skirmish, which led into multiple kills and secure Roshan. Eagle's gonna have to, I don't know, farm a little bit more. You got Mjolnir up on the Muerta, which is like the big core item for this hero, because it's your attack speed source to get... You technically get double damage when you have Mjolnir, because you get more Gunslinger procs from your attack speed. And then the Pierce the Veil also gets a lot stronger with your right clicks being amplified.
Yep. I don't know if that matters if you're chronoed, but... overall.
Yep, that's technically 0 damage if you're Chrono. That is true. Mercy's spotted. Frisk is
Nothing
right
helps,
there,
right?
And there's the hook shot, but it hits a creep, it hits a Satyr in between. So Mercy's able to walk out, his life intact. He would have died otherwise. Sees the rocket fly right past him. Butterfly Effect is ready to go in. They see Frisk, but do they get to kill him? That's one slap in the face. Waiting for the second one. Flame Break's also there. X-Mark has placed down, and that's a Chrono. But the X also at the back. Can they save the Shaker? It's going to be a tight call. Echo does go off, and the egg only now explodes. It's too late. Bristol's about to drop too. He does no damage whatsoever. An Eagle in shambles. Aster, maybe we'll lose one hero. Ukiyo. Oh, a Bash.
X.
He got the X-Mark, but is the BKB out on time?
Yeah.
Oh, he's there. BKB runs out before the X-Mark, and he's forced to stand his ground, but he almost kills himself to the blade mails. Maybe he gets a Dawnbreaker kill here, TZ. Oh, he's got to get X-Mark too. You come back here, says Echo. And he wants to get the full clean team wipe. There we go. Erica will take the last remaining kill, and Aster, they just wiped Eagle.
Yeah. Okay, I was saying that they might not be the favorites, but they are. It's not only because of this last team fight, the way the game has been going. Like, overall, Aster have been... They've been the only ones, like, making any moves on the map, right? Like, from the get-go, they're setting the pace, setting the tempo. Top lane, Bristle gets a really good start, as he should. Gets a really nice and early Vanguard, but then it's unused. Like, they just don't help him at all. I feel like he's one of those heroes that... Like, he's gonna get a really good... okay. Avoid. Erica. Po yo-yo. Never mind.
He's just vibing here. Meanwhile, Mercy, I don't know if he's vibing. Not at least good vibes in this case. Aster, another pick off for them. Up to 20 kills now. So Eagle with their farm pace early on, it feels like it's drying up now.
Yeah, exactly. And they do have these heroes that are supposed to maintain momentum, and they weren't able to do that because Aster just played around that very well.
Yeah.
They do
There's
they do
still
have a
one
Lotus.
There's still one big surprise factor, and that is why I absolutely love the late game Muerta carry. You don't care about the armor your Agi carry opponent has. Like, say Terrorblade, he's got like 50 armor. It doesn't matter. Your Pierce the Veil just goes straight through all of that. So that is one big factor they have for killing this Faceless Void in the late game.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a Lotus now on Bristle, so at least he'll be able to keep on using spells in the fight, and he can deal with the Vessel that's been destroying him as well from Dark Willow. Just these mistakes that Radiant has been making. You know, the fight in the now when they got vibed, like they went on Dark Willow without having combo on Shaker, so they went on her without Fissure. And I'm thinking, like, how do you kill her? What do? You totem and then you wait 5 minutes and then you totem her again? Like, she's gonna Shadow Realm and terrorize you. Or you're gonna get Chrono.
Yeah, and that did happen. They did get chronoed right after because they failed to kill the Willow, so that attempt backfired, and Butterfly Effect is being hunted right now. Echo, Frisk, and the Clockwork, of course, trying to find an opening here, but he's already teleported away. Echo. The DD rune. That's an Ukiyo Muerta, by the way. Rooted on the spot. Pops. Doesn't even pop the Pierce the Veil. Terrorized. Down to half HP. And almost dead completely. Tries to dish out some damage onto the Kunkka, but there's the Chrono coming out from the Faceless Void. And Muerta is history. And they got the Bat. They got the Phoenix. They got the Bristle on the edge as well. They can't do anything. Completely disarmed. And no tools to answer versus Aster.
What the hell was that Chrono, man? Like, it's like anti-Loda sphere, you know?
Yeah, where was this Aster in the last series, man?
Well, that Chrono was so good because it got 4 heroes and everyone was on the edge of the Chrono. You know, it's not like they were all together, like in one ball, and then it's an easy Chrono to do. No, he caught everyone on the edge, on the outskirts. Really well played, nicely done.
And a perfect start for the fight, too. You got Muerta first. Basically a hero that has no way of getting out. You're good at standing your ground and great at counter-initiating because you have the calling for the silence and Pierce the Veil to kind of give you that immunity versus physical damage. But they basically got to do a lot of free hits. They got a nice stun combo going on, and Muerta had like 200 HP by the time she got her BKB and her Pierce the Veil on. So that's a little bit too late.
Yeah, one of the biggest issues that you have when you are playing with support such as Batrider is they tend to not buy team items. They're buying items for themselves. So your Blink, your Yules, God forbid a 4-staff is purchased, you know?
Yep.
And Phoenix, like I told you, Phoenix could buy anything. He could buy Glimmer and Force as well, but he went for Atos, and now this Muerta, once they get on top of her, she only has her own pipe.
Oh, he got the lasso, but he's pushing him in the other direction. The tidal wave pushing the Batrider instead of the Batrider with the lasso pulling him to his team. So Mercy's all by himself at the mercy of Aster. They will not give any. They will take us life. And there's the Bristleback surrounded. Egg in the river. There is Echo hitting it. Echo doesn't have the damage for it. Bristleback's fallen. And they are on full route on the side of Eagle. Ukiyo, he's trying his best, but he's, again, doing a lot of damage to himself because of that Blade Mail on the Kunkka and the Heart, so he's already back to full HP. Ukiyo still on the run. Butterfly Effect also just guarding his friend there. Again, another failed fight for Eagle. But what started off with that? An X-Mark Kunkka just going to clear the wave. He pops a couple smokes, forces the Batrider to go in. But the Batrider was definitely going in because he was not going out.
Yeah, it was a nice egg in the end in the river, but it didn't really matter. There's no assistance, no one to help you out. I think looking at this game, even and just talking about Phoenix, if they set up these fights a little bit better, like this egg should be unkillable or almost unkillable. Like you're playing Phoenix into 4 melee heroes, and you have a Shaker on your side. You know what I mean? Like these eggs could be insane. Like this Phoenix could win the game if he's farmed enough. I'm not even kidding. Like if this is a
Oh, let's see what
fat
happens
position
here.
4.
They've got a clockwork caught, but instantly breaking that lasso. And there's the Echo Slam onto the back line, and maybe this time, no! The hook shot will cancel the Shaker. He will get the kill. Phoenix going to get caught inside the Chrono. So is the Bristleback. They've already lost 2. And that Bristle is also unable to attack right now. And the Muerta is basically burnt out. The Pierce the Veil on the BKB. So Muerta gone. And so is your game. Aster. They've got this one in the bag. Eagle. They're facing elimination soon.
Yep. Eagle. I'm not sure what happened here, but it didn't feel like they had an idea of how to play the game. Like their GG isn't working.
Yeah, they called another one.
Because, in my opinion, like which can be easily wrong, right? Like I really think that they had what it takes to win this one. Like the draft was solid. The way they played post